it's a great unit to have. I think, is this the second year? It started last January, and 6 months prior to that we were riding the bus in uniform. We're still mixing it up a bit because uniform is nice. We like to be out there for the drivers because the drivers get that one trip where they're absolutely guaranteed they're not going to have a problem. You know, that's a nice free trip for them. They're just, you know, they breathe easier, they relax, they've got someone to socialize with, you know, where they can, you know, maybe they can vent about, you know, some of the stuff that's been happening in their day, or it's just somebody that they can, you know, bounce ideas off of for.
But just for the general public, though, seeing a uniform is reassuring.
It is. It's definitely reassuring. Yep.
Okay, whereas someone who's not in uniform is just like a regular person. So the visibility, I know when I see police cars driving around, I feel reassured, right?
Yeah, yeah. The thing about the plainclothes is that nobody knows they're there until something happens.
Yeah.
And I think
it's a good mix-up.
It is. It is. And one of Transit's big things is word of mouth. So what happens is sure there's you know 14 people sitting on a bus and 2 people are fighting and then 2 guys in jeans and t-shirts jump up and intervene. But at the same time they're identifying themselves as transit enforcement. So they're like, wow, I didn't even know those guys were, you know. So that keeps them thinking, okay, well, wow, these guys.
And the word gets out that the person sitting next to you
could be transit enforcement. So and it's working out because we see a lot of people now. Not necessarily people that we've dealt with, but we've seen people will wave at the unmarked car that's, you know, lingering 4 or 5 cars behind, you know, like the senior citizens and stuff that have been on buses where stuff has happened, and you know, so yeah, it's great. People see that, people appreciate that there's actually an effort there to make things safer. Transit has come, I don't know, it's just in the 4 years that I've been here, it's come a long, long way, and we're excited about it. There's lots of great things happening. So as transit gets bigger and transit gets easier to use, there's going to be a lot more of us there actually. So
it's nice too, being like, because we rotate with our schedule from uniform to plainclothes. Yeah. Say the example of the trespasser I used earlier. He's seen me in a uniform, so he sees me as just that uniform and not, you know, just an everyday person. Then when I saw him here and I was in plainclothes, I had the chance to talk to him after. It kind of brings it back down to, okay, she's just another person, but this is her job.
That's right.
You know, it's like, it makes me one person, but they see how, okay, this is a uniform, that's what I was having the problem with. She walks around in regular clothes every day like everybody else, but she can still do her job like that. And she talks to me the same way, she's still respectful. So then when he walks away, when he sees me after, he's a lot nicer. You know, he realizes, okay, I was that way because I did something wrong. I just didn't want to be restricted on my time and stuff like that. But it makes them realize we're just regular people. You know, a doctor wears a uniform, an enforcement officer wears a uniform. You know, we all have to do something. Mm-hmm. So, you know, and like I was saying on the buses, when they see somebody jump up, you know, seeing the other people on the bus, once you resolve that situation, the bus gets on its way, having them turn around and just being in awe that, you know, you were there and you prevented any of them from getting hurt or delaying them from getting to work and things like that. Just that simple, hey, thanks, you know, or that's great that you're here.
Exactly, yeah.
You know that they're going to be telling other people that they know. That's going to be spreading around. That's going to be coming back to transit management. They're going to be like, okay, this is really beneficial. It's working. It's getting the news out there that this is what's going on. And that's what it's been doing. It's making this system on the road safe and at the terminal safe. And
the class tours are fantastic too. Right?
Yeah, I mean, due to like time and resources and the number of officers and stuff, we really only get to participate in that 1 week out of the year, and that's for National Public Works Week. So we'd like to, you know, increase that. I know that some of the officers are working with transit operations, I think, to do some of the schools and stuff. So going directly to the school and bringing the presentation and education to them. I think they're probably going to start with what, like senior elementary,
senior elementary, all the way and doing grade 9 presentations.
Yeah, that's a good. It's also called
our
middle
next
school
target group, because that group they create a lot of problems just in that, like, you know, they've come from public school, now they're in high school and they're testing all of the boundaries. Right, and it's okay.
And you're in those groups. Somebody else is doing it, and you're with 10 other people.
Right.
Well, it's okay to do it, because they're to blame, not me.
It's okay to test the boundaries, but not when there's 400 of you, you know, doing it all at the same time in the same spot. Yeah. So, you know, we have special little projects, you know, where we go out and we'll be at a high school for an afternoon dismissal a couple times a week. You know, just to show that we're out there and that, you know, we're really monitoring what's going on. You know, just want them to adhere to some of the rules and stuff. Like don't push and shove when you're getting on the bus, because all that's going to happen is people get hurt. We don't put your ticket in the box, get a transfer, and then give it to your friend. Now he's riding for free. Is he ever going to do that for you? Probably not. Not only that, transit's losing a lot of money, right? It costs a lot of money to run transit, and I think it's probably incorrect, but I think they said something like 10% of all of their expenses are covered by the fare box, right? Like that's, the fare box really only covers it. So it's hugely funded by the city, and it's hugely funded by taxpayers. So the important thing is to make sure that it's safe for the people who are paying for it, right? Safe for the taxpayers, safe for the drivers, and the people that have to, work within transit. So sometimes just keeping tabs on the kids, reminding them, like, hey, listen, this is new to you, and it's cool to be riding the bus around, but just do it without disrupting everybody on it, or the driver and things like that. So the first part is really hitting it hard, showing up, being there every day, letting them know that we're there, and then it's just maintaining, right? It's showing up every once in a while, just let them know that we haven't forgotten, right? So we've some of the high schools up at the north end, we don't have to visit anymore. We used to go up there all the time. We'd have one uniform officer and one plainclothes officer, and don't have to go there anymore. They've settled down. Every September, we try and hit as many of the high schools as we can in the first couple of weeks. But again, based on what's happening, out on, say, a Huron-Ontario route or a Burnham-Thorpe route, it really depends on how busy it is for us, whether or not we're able to do those things. So we love having the kids through, and we love doing the stuff with the kids because it gets us out there as well.
But also, it shows. It shows that you enjoy that.
Yeah, sometimes maybe too much.
And now in June we have the Safe City, that Safe City section that started with the city. They're going to be having like an open house come June.
Yeah.
So that's now going to be another opportunity we're going to have, and we'll be there being able to educate anybody, whether it's parents, teachers, anybody from other service departments, showing them what we do, why we're here, our successes, and how we're here to help people. So now we're taking that step for 2011 to make sure we're really pushing ourselves out there. Everything we can get involved in, any kind of public awareness that we can do, we're going to do it.
The whole principle goes back to basically helping us to help them.
Yeah.
And that was transit had that kind of slogan for us from the beginning. If you see something, say something, because there's people on the bus who just turn a blind eye. They stare straight ahead. They don't see anything to the left, to the right, or behind. It's straight ahead. Their goal for that day is to get to work, and nothing's going to interrupt that. But you can't have a good, safe system or a good, safe anything if that's how everybody's behaving. So we have a public access number.
4704.
There you go, 4704, and they can report problems on buses or at terminals.
Well, that's one of the things why we try to make sure our image that we put out there, that we are different. If I was standing beside an officer, I'm not blue, I'm gray. Our jackets, they're not blue, they're black. That our flashes are very visible and very clear of what they say. There's a completely different logo there. We don't make any effort to imitate the police in any way, and that way people know that's enforcement. That's the police. They can still help me and get me in touch and do things that
it doesn't even really.
like
a lot of times we're at the same scene together. There'll be 3 or 4 original police, and then maybe 2 or 3 of us. And everybody looks different, and it's very easily, I don't know, I'm speaking for myself and maybe the average reasonable person, right? But the average reasonable person will be like, okay, obviously there's a difference there, gray shirts, blue shirts, that kind of red stripe, white stripe. I guess you can't really rely on the judgment of other people. There was a...
When you're panicking, when you're excited, when you're angered or whatnot, you can kind of get sidetracked.
Exactly.
It's a uniform, what are they going to do to me kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay, well, the only other thing is if you could do a demonstration just to show the car, or I can come back at another time.